CMC Eve. We are here, ladies and gentlemen. It's the eve of the first game of Christian McCaffrey's debut of the season. I'm incredibly excited. We got great news. Deebo Samuel is expected to play a Sunday against the Buccaneers, according to Adam Schefter. Christian McCaffrey's making his debut. Could have played last time against the Dallas Cowboys, according to reports. But the great news, ladies and gentlemen, we are so close. It's like games at 10 a.m. in the morning over here. We're getting close to game time. The Niners get CMC back. Deebo and CMC together. It's been a long time coming. I put on my CMC jersey for the first time literally all season. I haven't put it on the entire season. It felt so good to put on the CMC jersey. Like, I put it on, I was like, oh shit. It's like there's a different aura for the CMC jersey. Like, I literally feel we're gonna win this game just because I don't know. There's just something about the CMC jersey. It's special. Like, it just makes you feel like a winner. So, yeah, Niners are going to have Deebo Samuel and CMC in the backfield. Jordan Mason. This team's looking like they're healthy. Juwan Jennings. I'm hyped up, man. I'm so excited. I can't even believe CMC's back on the roster. Like, it is absolutely so happy. I'm so amazed. Like, this is just great news. It's just all around fantastic news. I hope you guys are excited because I, for one, cannot wait for Christian McCaffrey. Like, if he gets a touchdown tomorrow, I might cry. It's just legendary action, man. Christian McCaffrey is back. Are we excited or what? I'm hyped up, man. I don't know about you guys, but I'm absolutely juiced, man. It's juiced. My audio is messed up on IG. Sorry about that. I'll just go back on YouTube. I'm trying to do both, so I don't know what's going on. I'll go on YouTube. We'll come back on IG because something's up. But we're here on YouTube. I don't know what's going on with the audio on Instagram, but Instagram sometimes is weird. But here we are live. Christian McCaffrey is set to make his debut Sunday. And again, Deebo Samuel will be here. Big time. The Niners have a lot of rest. They haven't had a game in 2 weeks. It feels like it's been 3 years since the 49ers played. Like, it seems like a long time. I know we had a bye week, but it feels longer than it ever has. So I'm excited for the Niners to play some football. And the good news is that rest is going to help the Niners. I think that's what the advantage for the 49ers is going to be, is they're rested. The Buccaneers are coming off a short week, Monday Night Football. They went into overtime with the Buccaneers. They almost beat, or with the Chiefs, sorry. They almost beat them. They went toe-to-toe. They're not a bad team. They're not going to be an easy defeat. This is going to be a really, really hard game. Baker's playing out of his mind. And, they don't have their top two receivers, but they still find ways to score. So the Niners have their hands full. It's on the road. Early game, that's a dangerous position for the 49ers because they're a West Coast team. Those early games are really spooky. I know we're not in October anymore, but I still think this could be a spooky season, type of vibe. So 49ers have to be able to be, alert and oriented and be ready because these early games, man, they catch you and you're like, oh, crap, So it is going to be a tough one against Tampa Bay. But the 49ers have Juwan Jennings, Deebo. They got a healthy squad coming back. Christian McCaffrey, like we know. So this is good news. Now, there is a guy that we still don't know if he's going to play, Nick Bosa. He's questionable with the hip injury. He suffered a hip pointer on Wednesday's practice. So we're still waiting on news for Nick Bosa. Malik Mustafa, he's dealing with the calf injury. But the good news is Tashawn Gibson is activated on the roster. We know Tashawn Gibson. You can plug him into the roster. He's a veteran. It's not like he needs to learn anything. He's been on this team for several years. He'll be able to pick it up right where he left off last year. So that is great news for the 49ers. They have Tashawn Gibson who could just come right in and figure it out. So, any news on Greenlaw? Nothing right now. He's just a couple of weeks away. So let's take a look at some of these comments. My man Flood says double auto. Their tight end is legit. Yeah, he's crazy. He's really good. I got him on my fantasy team. So I don't know if I want him to do good because I don't want him to cook the Niners. So he's definitely playing out of his mind. And without Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, Otto is going to be their big time target. So for sure, you got to figure out a way to stop him. So, oh man, when is the 10 a.m. games? Niners wake up the second half. Yeah, sometimes they do. Second half of the season loading. Bosa ain't missing the game in front of his family in Florida. It's a good point. He does have his family He's from Florida. He's not going to miss a game in Florida, right? So finally putting on a CMC jersey. I know, it feels good, man. Cop the Lenore's jersey. Is that a dub? That's a huge dub. I like that. Number 2, Lenore, he's playing out of his mind, and I think he needs to continue to play really good this second half of the season. First half of the season, I would say Diamond Lenore is a Pro Bowler. If he can continue to have a strong stretch the second half of the year, he can definitely be a All-Pro, So sky's the limit. We'll see how it goes. 49ers Raj says Niners allowed the 4th fewest yards to receiving tight ends. So the Niners defense is good against tight ends. As you know, they have a man named Fred Warner who patrols the middle. So he'll have his work cut out for him because this is a tough matchup. So my man Hutch says, I'm going tomorrow to the game rocking my CMC jersey. I love to hear it. I love it. I think a lot of people are going to be wearing their CMC jersey. I think everybody's been waiting to wear their CMC jersey. I know I have. I'm excited. So my man Abel says, Raj, man, I'm proud to be a 49er fan. Just a huge fan of yours, and I can't wait for this team to go on the run one game at a time. Appreciate you, Abel. Thank you for the support. Thank you, everybody, for the support. And I, for one, cannot wait for the 49ers to go on a massive run myself. So we're all excited. We all want to see this team win. And I think Christian McCaffrey is going to be the juice that they need. Now, the question is, how much are they going to use Christian McCaffrey? This is his first game back. Kyle said it's just hard not to give him the ball or have him on the field. Like, he might be on the field, but he might not get the ball, and he's just the type of guy that could change the outcome of a game without even having the ball in his hand. He can line up at receiver. He can line up, in the backfield. They can have 2 running backs, and now you have Mason, Garendo, and CMC. Niners can get very tricky, and they can get very versatile. And you got Deebo. So, Matt, you could have Deebo and CMC in the backfield together. That's scary. That's scary. So how many carries is McCaffrey going to get? Maybe 10? Is going to be in the red. Like, I think for sure when the Niners are in the red zone, for sure you're putting in CMC. Like, you have to put in Christian McCaffrey in the red zone because that's going to open everything up, because then teams are going to be like, oh, shit, is they going to give it to CMC? And then you don't, and then boom, everybody else is open. Jawan Jen, like, this team is going to explode. So I really feel the Niners are going to score a lot of points. I haven't done a prediction yet, so we might as well do a prediction. I think the Niners are scoring 33 points at the very least. They're scoring at least 33 points. They're going to go out there and score a lot of points. That's what I feel. I have a great feeling. Jennings, Deebo, Kittle. I haven't even mentioned Kittle. George Kittle. This guy's having a fantastic season. And Brock Purdy. Let's talk about him. He's going to have a huge second half of the season. First half, he had some ups and downs here, but I think this second half of the season, he's really focused. He's locked in. You remember last year he went farming. This year he went, on a trip with George Kittle and his wife. They went to, fishing. I think he's gonna locked in. I think he just let all the stress melt away, and he's ready to go and play big time down the second half of the season. I really believe it. So I'm excited. And you got Ricky Pearsall. This kid looks every week like he's gotten better. You got to remember, he's a first-round pick wide receiver. I think the sky's the limit for Ricky Pearsall. And the more they use him, I think the more confident he's going to get. He's a playmaker. So team has some weapons. If people forget how good this offense could be with Christian McCaffrey, I think they're going to go crazy tomorrow. So CMC a decoy? Absolutely not. I mean, sure, when he's not getting the ball, you can say he's a decoy, but I think CMC's out there and he's going to play his head off tomorrow. I think he's going to have a pretty big game. I think he'll have 10 to 15 carries. I think he'll get a touchdown. I think he'll get a couple receptions. Like, CMC's back. He said it. He feels good. Like, he feels great. Like, it's been a tough journey for him to get here. CMC doesn't like to miss games. He's the type of guy that likes to work hard. He trains himself to put himself in pristine position. Like, he makes sure his body's at tempo, So, he's been wanting to get out there. He's hungry. And I get it. It's the Achilles. But I don't think the Niners, I don't think CMC, I don't think himself would allow himself to play if he just wasn't feeling it. And this is a very, big-time situation. He signed a contract extension this offseason, and I think he wants to live up to it. And he's tried everything he could to get to where he's at. So I 100% think he's going to have a good debut. I think he's going to score a touchdown, and it's going to be amazing. And we're going to be like, holy crap, we missed him, especially in the red zone. So, but, you got to realize you don't want to overuse him. because he is coming off injury. You want to make sure you keep him fresh and ready for the rest of the season. But we'll see how he feels Monday after the game. That's the big thing. How is he going to feel on Monday after, getting tackled? Because practice is one thing. He hasn't had any setbacks, no pain, but you're not tackling. You're not taking him down. You're not running into him. You're not hitting him in practice. So that's going to be a big test, taking the live hits, taking the bullets and in a live game action. So we'll see how he feels Monday. But I'm confident CMC is going to go out there and rock it up and do what he has to do. I'm just, I'm hoping that he doesn't re-aggravate anything, just like you guys. So, let's see. They got to be smart with him. Yeah, we definitely need to be smart with him, Flood. Definitely need to be smart with him. My man Hutch says, I'm starting Jennings tomorrow, and I got Purdy. I think Jennings could have a big game tomorrow. Imagine coming back from injury. For sure, CMC going to get a touchdown. He's hungry. The media going to go crazy. Yep. Julius says, Niners after the bye are built different. They are a really good team after the bye week. I can't remember where I saw this post, but they showed like the 49ers record after the bye under the Kyle Shanahan era. It's pretty damn good. Last year, they went on a run. They lost to 3 in a row, went on the bye, and then they went crazy, right? There was a year where they went 9-0 after the bye. They are so good after the bye week. It's just whatever happens, they leave whatever issues were at the door, and it's just like they turn the switch on, and it's a whole different team. They are a great team down the stretch. Even the year where 2017, the team started off really bad. It was the first year with Kyle Shanahan. They were losing games, and then boom, 5 games down the stretch, you go in a 5-game winning streak. Obviously, they paid Jimmy because of that, but that was crazy. We were a terrible, 2 wins or something, and then all of a sudden, boom, you go down the second half of the season, win 5 games. So I remember back then, I was like, could be a good team, and of course, 2018 happened, the injuries. But after that, it was like boom, 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 boom. Every year, we kind of resurged down the second half of the season, and it's just like, whoa, this team is a second half team. And now you get Christian McCaffrey back on this roster. It's exciting. So. Baker's hurting his toe. Yeah. That's another thing. And I know Baker said he's going to play. He is questionable, but he pretty much is a done deal to play. I would be surprised if Baker doesn't play. But he does have a toe injury. And if Bosa's bearing down on him, it's going to be a hurt toe, a very hurt toe. But, Baker, again, coming off a tough game against the Chiefs on Monday Night Football, I think that's going to really wear on him. I'm sure the Buccaneers want to escape this game and try to make sure they can get through it and not get any injuries, because they got a bye week after this. But again, Buccaneers are going to be this is going to be a tough game, man. I'm not even going to lie to you. Buccaneers are tough. They played the Chiefs down to the wire. I'm not going to count them out. I'm not going to sit here and say the Niners are going to crush them. I think it'll be a tough game. I think both teams will score a lot. But I just see the 49ers just going on an offensive rampage. I think the floodgates will open. They've been rested. They've been ready. They've been motivated. They've been focused. Brock, Purdy, Kittle, all those guys, that you could just tell there's a different aura right now coming around second half of the season. That's kind of what I feel every year when the second half comes. I'm like, all right, here we go. It's time to play and go on a run. So Bosa spiking the flag in Baker's toe. My man Flood says the difference this year is Kyle knows he has a running back too he can win with. The offense should definitely explode with CMC on the field. Yeah, hopefully he peppers in, Garendo and Mason, and you don't want to overwork Christian McCaffrey like you guys mentioned. So definitely good to have all 3 of them. This is a different type of backfield than we've seen for the 49ers in a while. We have 3 really good, healthy running backs now, all able to be, deployed. Usually we have some good running backs. We always have good ones, but one guy's usually hurt or this and that, or one guy's always used, or it's like a young player on the rise, and it's like, you don't know, the backup's all right. But now you have 3 really bona fide running backs. Jordan Mason could start probably on almost every team. Isaac Reno in a year or 2, he could probably start on any team. I don't know if he's a bell cow yet, but as he gets stronger and gets a little bit more reps under him, he could probably be a really almost every down running back soon. And Christian McCaffrey, he's Christian McCaffrey. So 49ers have 3 really solid running backs that, hey, 10 carries here, 10 carries here, 10 carries here. Split them up. Let them go to work. So I agree with that. Non-Niner related, but Georgia lost. Yeah, it was a good day. Even though we made like 1 or 2 moves during the trade deadline, I like your take on how our deadline was getting CMC, Jennings, and Greenlaw back. Yeah, see, that's the thing, Julius. Everybody was wanting the big names, the brand names, and 100%. I would have been like going crazy if they made a big trade. Like, oh my God, I got Clowney or Buckner. Of course, I would have been excited just like every single one of you. But knowing the 49ers had so much talent that hasn't played much because of the injuries, it just didn't make sense to go and like blow all your draft picks for these players that maybe you rent when you need to save these draft picks, because a lot of the players right now might not be back in a year or two because they have a lot of expiring contracts. They got to save money. Brock's going to get paid, and you do have these players that you've paid money, like Juwan Jennings, Dre Greenlaw. Maybe he'll be back next year. Christian McCaffrey, he had the extension. All these guys were coming back, and it's like, well, that's our trade deadline. We're getting players back from the injured reserve. Yetur Gross-Matos, I know he's not playing this weekend, but he'll be back eventually, right? John Feliciano, he's not playing this weekend, but he'll be back eventually. So that's what the 49ers did. They realized, hey, we got players coming back. We don't need to trade anybody because we have our literal own players coming back, and those guys are great. So if they weren't coming back, though, Julius, I think they would have made a bigger trade. I think if they knew Greenlaw wasn't coming back, if they knew CMC wasn't coming back, if they knew, any of those guys weren't coming back, Juwan Jennings, then yeah, they probably would have went and made a bigger trade, 100%. But they didn't need to. So Abel says 4-4 last season and our run began. I have a feeling this can be the same result. I think so too. We can silence the haters. I really think the second half of this season, 49ers can go on a run. It is going to be a tough schedule. I'm not going to sit here and say they're going to go undefeated down the second half. Like, no, we're not going to say that. They'll probably lose some games. We got to be real. The Bills and the Packers back-to-back, that's a tough little stretch right there. Not going to lie to you. The Cardinals are looking good. The Rams are tough this year. Seahawks, play them at home. Should be able to get that one. Dolphins, the Bears, should be able to get those 2 games. Buccaneers tomorrow, should be able to get that game. And after that, you got to really dig deep and beat those tougher opponents, like the Buffalo Bills, the Packers. You can't just beat these bad teams. You got to beat a few good teams in there. But overall, I think the Niners, if they can get 6 wins down the second half of the season and have a 10-7 record, I think they could win the NFC West. But it's not going to be easy. Not going to be easy. But I think they could go on a run for sure. So. My man says, on paper, the league hates us. The league always hates us, man. No matter what. We always get hated on. It's nothing new. Breakfast in a Niner game. I hate these Niner games in the morning. I don't even know how I'm going to function, but I'll be there. I'll be ready. I will be live on the Autograph app. I don't know if you guys downloaded it. We've been promoting it on the Instagram page. So if you guys want, I'll be on it. They're going to try to make like a video chat soon, but they're just starting it. They're testing it out, the autograph rooms. So I'll be there. We can text and talk and stuff like that 30 minutes before the game. So we'll see. Probably won't get a huge turnout because it's the first time and they're just testing it out. I don't know what to expect, but as we go forward, we're going to try to build that community a little bit more. So the autograph app's pretty cool. If you guys download it, check it out. If you read content and stuff, they basically just aggregate all the news on 49ers world, like that I post or whoever posts. It's all in one little app, kind of like Bleacher Report. But the cool thing about it is if you get if you read something, you get a fan coin. And if you get a certain amount, there's like contests. Like this one right now, not contest, but like raffles. So like the new one right now is the Jerry Rice jersey, right? We promoted it. If you get 30 coins, you get an offer. Do you want to accept your coins and put it into the drawing? If you win, you get a free Jerry Rice signed jersey. So that's how it works. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty easy app to use. Once you get it, just download it, read content, read the news, just read the news. Even if you read it from my page, read the news, like, scroll. Oh my God. Oh, Deebo is back. Oh, CMC is back. Read it, get your coins, and enter the contest. That's all you got to do. So anyways, I hope you guys have a good rest of your night. I got to get some rest. I'm glad that Schefter dropped this news a little earlier than normal. Usually it's like 11 o'clock, and I'm like, fuck, it's so late. So we're going to get some sleep. You guys have a good rest of your night. Deebo, CMC, back. Everything's looking good. The Niners should win against the Buccaneers. If they don't, we're going to be mad tomorrow. We're going to talk about it. So y'all have a good rest of your night. get some good breakfast in the morning. Get some coffee because we're going to need it. Got a long day of games tomorrow. 10 a.m. game. It's going to be rough, but y'all stay tuned. I love you. Go Niners. Bang, bang. Niner gang.